Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It is Monday, March 7th, 2022. And you're here because we're going to pull four cards, one for each element of the Zodiac. So, why don't we get started? We like to start with a quote. So, let's start with this week's quote. And this week it's from eminent philosopher and thinker George Hegel, or Georg Hegel, as some people like to call him. Short one today, and George Hegel writes, he goes, "The history of the world is nothing but the development of the idea of freedom." I think what he's trying to say there is freedom is very rare. It's rare in this world, and it's rare in time. And very few times in human history have so many people been free as they are today, particularly in Western society and particularly in the United States. The rest of history has been a struggle against the powers of oppression, the struggle against the powers of subjugation, against the powers of that want to destroy the human spirit, the spirit of freedom and the spirit of rebellion. So let's take a little time and be a little bit grateful for the freedoms that we do have and the freedoms that we are able to enjoy. And let's take a look at the freedom that tarot gives us. Tarot gives us the freedom to see the world in the right way. Tarot gives us insight into the way the world is, into the way we want the world to be, and the way that we can make changes, make strides and changes towards the way we want the world to be. So, without further ado, let's go. Fire, water, air, and earth. Okay, let's see here. All right, for you fire signs, you've got the Knight of Pentacles, or Knight of Discs. Take a look at them upright. Knight of Pentacles is down to earth, warm, smart, uses tried and true methods. Isn't like necessarily the innovator, but he's definitely someone who's been around the block and he knows how to get things done, and he knows how to do things, particularly from a financial sense and from a material possession sense. And for you fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, you had them upside down. So you may be coming up against some conflict against a maybe someone who's quote unquote your superior at job. Even though it's a male, it's not necessarily a male person. It's kind of like the hierarchy, hierarchical type energies. So you having trouble with someone at work or someone who fits the description that I had just put out there. Someone good with money, down to earth, tried and true methods, very methodical, very does things in the same order every day or the same way every day. So you may be having some problems with him or her, or you may be having trouble doing that for yourself. What's holding you back from putting in place rules and rituals for you to achieve what it is you want to achieve? What's your goal? In this picture here, the Knight of Pentacles, he's got this. The sun is right in his eye, so he's kind of got a goal ahead of him. So, what's your goal? What are you trying to achieve, and what are the things that you need to put in place in order to achieve that? Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You've got the Fool. The Fool's about beginnings and brand new adventures and brand new ways of being, and spontaneity and fun and lightness and childlike behavior. So um, maybe it's time to start thinking of your romantic life in this way. Try and make it something fun. Um, I think oftentimes, and especially the older we get, the more matters of the heart become a little bit of a chore. And oh my God, I got to meet this person, and oh my God, this has got to happen. Or maybe even if you're in a committed relationship, things can get boring. So this is calling on the energies of spontaneity and fun and new things and exciting in the beginner's mind. Um, that's what it's calling for you to do, water signs. For you air signs, that would be Libra, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. You've got the Five of Swords. Let's take a look at them. Upright. 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 I mean, there's a little bit of conflict in the Five of Swords. So because you had him reversed, maybe you might be coming out of a bit of a conflictual period, or maybe you have a choice to either escalate the conflict or to diffuse it. What are the things that you need to do to diffuse it? And if you don't want to diffuse it, or you don't need to diffuse it, what are the things you need to do to guarantee your success or your a good outcome in this particular conflict? Um, you get the guy there. He's got the two swords on his shoulder and one in his hand, and then there are two on the ground. Um, what are the tools, or what are the words, or what are the things that you need to say in order to either defend yourself um, or come out on top? But with the sun setting in the background, maybe it's time to quote unquote bury the hatchet, or maybe you should be expecting someone to bury the hatchet or talk about burying the hatchet. Um, but it's definitely a card of communication. So communicate what you need to communicate, even in the face of conflict. And for you, earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, you've got the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is lots of things going on, maybe too many things going on. This is kind of asking you to separate the things out that are important, and maybe separate out the things that are less important, and focus on the things you can focus on. It's also a call to, if you've been stagnant for a little, like, put some energy into it. Like, let's go, let's move, let's move. This is a card of action as well. So taking action and doing something and getting, if you have no plate spinning, then get some plate spinning and see what works. Because a lot of times we can kind of paralyze ourselves into not acting. So this is a card of action and spontaneity and doing things and meeting people and seeing all the things that are out there. So for you earth signs, it's time to do something, act, put some energy into it, see what comes out, see what you can drum up. Are you beating the bushes? Are you doing everything you can in order um, to make some kind of hay, or make some kind of changes? All right, that's it for today. Appreciate you joining me, and We'll see you next time.